Chapter 53. Explanation of the parable. 24th August 1840. Take note. Remember well. When I now say, take note, I do not want to direct attention to some long-committed crime by you through this, but only use the opportunity and the resemblance of such a crime for your use. Crime shows here your first world life, which has a great similarity to your spirit. Here indicates your dual presence, natural and spiritual. 30 years denotes a sane state of your soul, which will be opening the gate of life as well as that of death, which consists in the knowledge of good and true and evil and false. Perpetrated refers to taking the wrong into oneself and acting badly out of it. The half-past time says that you're still not in order. It should first be said that there is no natural judgment value in the parable, and secondly, that I have overlooked your missteps. In the sense of the parable, the owner is your worldly mind. The ecclesiastical from the word is understood under reality. The religion under woman. Lawful according to the legal system means according to the equity of outward form. Married means bound to the heart by free will. Note whether Ants H doesn't notice anything, where it actually wants to go. Worldliness is the whore. Pleasing here means sensual and carnal worldly aspects of self-love. Discord enormous swaying. Lived means to be in charge. Woman, as above. A townhouse is the world philosophy. A citizen there says, adhere to the philosophy, namely the very bad canton. Fornication means to hang on to the world. For the sake of fornication says, for the love of the world. The woman with the child means the ecclesiastical life, including the labor activity as fruit of faith. Now also means the present ecclesiastical. Living describes to exist ignorantly. Wanton, without deeds out of the word. Way of life says an uncomfortable state out of it. To waste wealth means to get rid of everything spiritual. Attacking a woman's fortune says to reveal churchly things, as far as they do not suit the self-love, namely out of resentment. Meaning, you cannot find peace with worldly wisdom, and whore, or the world, no longer holds on to anyone. Impoverished state means blindness by worldliness. Coming means deciding with oneself. Day, at all, earthly time with regard to an inner will-o'-the-wisp condition. Torment means to discard one after the other. Incessant means without any consideration. Conceding fortune says, want to remodel the church according to his view and convenience. Meaning, to recognize the impossibility of how little there is to be achieved with all arguing under whatever great mind trickery. As my will is stronger than the weak cord of the world's intellect. Wherefrom then also often purposeless prayers and invocations to achieve their intentions, which such one considers to be the best, because he does not know my well-calculated ways. Meaning, the first is the complete disregard and misjudgment of inner treasures. The second is to hold oneself guiltless and harmless out of one's inner, better conviction, admittedly only out of one's own idea. And the third is to find oneself in other ideas because of the great similarity. The present summer season signifies a similar heated state of mind. The year signifies the natural life of man. The 9th hour in the evening signifies the pitiful state of everything external in this parable, and thus shows the passage of twilight into the real night. Maltreatment, as above, as well as begin, implies the inner awakening of the conscience and the resisting of it. Means stubbornness of conscience. To take a rope means to appease oneself with fallacies. To throw it around the woman's neck and strangle her means to want to completely suffocate one's conscience with regard to everything ecclesiastical, under which one finds oneself necessarily in political terms. Because by neck are understood ecclesiastical state relations. Choking means to adhere with reluctance to the state ecclesiastical out of external political considerations. Opinion means faithless state. Fear of death describes the condition more closely. Bequeathing fortune means get rid of all inner reproaches and see to gain worldly things out of the church. Meaning, after closer examination, becoming aware that such churchly things are neither good for one nor for the other, so better do completely away with all that junk. Pious simplicity of heart shows spirituality. And fornication, as above. Support means to be useful. Meaning total neutralization of conscience. Midnight inner, almost atheistic state. Pain, fruitless efforts of conscience. Confiding herself to me means fall silent. Breathe out the spirit means to take a complete rest. Indicates a brief, satisfied state. Frightening means complete withdrawal from everything spiritual and to put oneself above everything, so to speak. For a time, indefinite duration of the condition. To lose one's consciousness means to know nothing more about the spiritual, nor to sense it. Finally, says, here, the feeling of death in oneself. Making a decision means giving yourself a direction from fear of judgment, says, out of temporal political considerations. Smart, says, worldly wise. Meaning, mind, will, love of the worldly goodly, as well as outwardly useful, and there is light. World judicial ability, diligent perseverance. Shovel, worldly help through whatever. Implies proportionate wisdom in it out of police considerations. As inches denote a spiritual measure, so shoes denote the measure in worldly terms. So too does the number 5. Pit indicates a security. Meaning, to protect oneself by juridical against heretical conjectures from the church side, out of police narrow-mindedness. Meaning, mix the church with the worldly judgments and regard it as such, in order to use it only juridically. Meaning, spiritual pressure by the state. Straight denotes out-of-state considerations. Under denotes political law. Wine press means to affirm state judiciary for the people through church. Meaning of the deepest politics, where the state is most ticklish because of the people and can sin carelessly, reckoning on the stupidity of the people. Meaning of the belletristic, to lie and mournfully relate, means to act aesthetically, to do aesthetically. To lose his wife means putting the church or religion into the aesthetical. Means the more frequent reflection on oneself and questioning juridical tactics about the real purpose of religion. Lukewarm court, the weakness of juridical conscience. On demand means out of his own worldly distress. Here and there means the same as now and then. By letter, says here, little lively concerned. To do research, says, sometimes look inside oneself. The dead means the once extinguished conscience in everything churchly. Among mortals means among the worldly wisdom. To locate means to enliven spiritually. Meaning, this state remained all the more easily uninspired by something churchly, because the church and the political had melted into each other. One excused the other, or the judgment was pronounced from one to another, and was one like the other, and since there was nothing spiritual in it, bad and of no use. This means, again, spiritual awakening through my grace, because just no great wickedness was behind the wrong one. Means the outward appearance of the church and its servants and its name. Means in the Spirit you will discern all things. Means even the very least thing has a great significance there. Amen. Footnote 1. Juridical is legal, that is, student, the publisher.